Hey guys, it's old Pop's garage. How you guys doing tonight? This is Fakawi four wheelers. There's get the XJ in here. There's the XJ. Still driving it every day, folks. Um, my last couple of videos I've been doing, guys, been on metal detecting and a stable from 1912 that used to be a part of this racetrack that was here near where I live. And I've been finding, we've had such, we're still getting snow. I cut the grass one day and get snowed the next day. So still having a lot of rain and snow. So this stables, it's almost 9 acres. And it's just like have water sitting on it for the last couple of weeks anyway. I haven't been able to get back over there. But I got these are some of the things I found at this place, and I want to show you one thing here. And if you're part of any of my other channels, you might have already kind of heard about this. But you guys are getting the special show because I know what this is. I think I know what this is, and we think we know what that is right there. So we're still wondering about that little blob of stuff, and we know a little bit more about this too. But like I said, this is a stables that was built in 1912 by a lawyer, and he housed, I think they said 16 race horses at this stables. And I've been granted access to go in there and metal detect everything, and I've got full access to the whole 8 point something acres. But in the areas that I've been able to hit, let's see, this I found today, this I found today, that I found today, this I found today, and that I found today. This I found on another day. But most of this I found today, other than this. I found that on a different day, too. But now with doing the other video that I did and put it on my main channel, I've been told what this is, and I'm pretty sure it's right. And let me see. And I think we know what this is, but I'm not for sure. But I'll tell you what I've been told. But I'm going to check it out because, and when I'll tell you how I'm going to check it out. I want to start with this right here, folks. This here is like a hitch pin, and it would slide down through probably on a tractor. This thing weighs about 25 pounds. It is heavy, but it's solid iron, and it's got a hole, boom, right through there, all the way through. That's the only place it's not solid. Now this pin would go down through what I've been told, and I don't know if the guy, it could be a hitch pin is what I'm thinking, but it would go down in to hitch a tractor to maybe some kind of farming equipment or a trailer or something. And then once they got it put in, they would put a lock pin through here, would go through here so it wouldn't be able to pop back out. And I believe that's what that is. How old it is, I don't have a clue, folks. But I don't think it's as old as this. This thing, they seem to think this is like a bearing cap or something on a vehicle or a tractor or something. And that's what this is. It's like a cup. But that's what I've been told, a bearing cap possibly. Now this here, we're still not for sure about. When I showed this before, it's got a pinhole in it. This is handmade. You could tell it's not machine made. It was handmade by somebody. And the pin is missing. I dug in. This has got wood in it. And I dug in there trying to find that pin, see if it was what it was made of, and it's no longer there. It done rotted away, but it's got a flat spot on it, like it kind of sit. Let me see, on that same side the pin's on. It's kind of, see that flat spot? So it kind of sits. It might have been a leg on something, like the part that would hit on the floor. I don't know what that is. This here is I believe I'm going to find out. It could be a musket ball. I'm not for sure what it's made of. I got a jewelry store that I can go down here and they'll tell me for free. But it is iron, or it's lead one. It's heavy. It's heavy. Now this here, folks, this is one. I mean, it's been in the ground for quite a while. You can see that it's pretty corroded, and but it does have this where it latches in like it's gonna turn something, like it would fit in. Then you could, and the way it's bent, it's like a hand crank. Now I had the guy that told me what this was, and what this was, he says this is a hand crank for either a car or a tractor. And I could see both. That's what I was saying about this, is we've got people in town around here that owns these old cars that had these hand cranks on it. So I'm going to take it over and see if it even looks like, or if it could be anything like that, or maybe one of these old men around here could tell me what it's for, either a tractor, or it could really be a hand crank as far as I'm concerned, to anything. I mean, they still make shit like this today for shit, but I mean, this, I think it is, the way it looks, it just seems like it was made by, somebody bent it, like a blacksmith or something. I don't know. It just don't look like it's made anytime soon. But now this one here, I've gotten more information on this. I'm gonna go over here, sit at the table, flip this around, sit at the table, and do this one. Damn. Where I wear my glasses up like this makes my freaking hair messed up. But anyway, you can deal with that. This is the one thing that, since I've been over there at that stables, folks, you would think a stables that had 16 racehorses stabled there, just when it was originally built, because there was some people that bought it later on, I think up in the 60s, 1960s, and they had horses and everything, but it didn't have nothing to do with the track. It was just a family that had horses and stuff, and they lived there on the property, and they lived there for quite a while. And their family is the one that donated this land to the person that's got it now, and they're going to try to keep it natural, or like it is now, kind of be a part of history. So I think I even said this before in one of my other videos. I was looking for, what would you think of finding if you're going to a place looking for metal with a metal detector, and there's been horses there for 110 years or more. You'd expect to find horseshoes. Well, I hadn't found any. Not one, not even a part of one. Till today, folks. Till today. First horseshoe I found on that property. Let's see. Get my base out of it. Get this smoke out of it. Try to get you guys to see it. so you can see it. Now this horseshoe, folks, I figured when I first started over there, I figured I'd find a horseshoe. But the thing about this horseshoe, folks, is this horseshoe and that is not from the time period of the early 1900s, 1912, when this farm was built, the stables was built, and it's not of the area of the track. The track lasted from 1911 to 1925. This, folks, is older than that. This horseshoe, let's put it like this. When I got this out of the ground and I couldn't believe it. I got a hold of a blacksmith that actually lives in Pennsylvania. He's not even in Ohio, but he's still not far from me. I live right next. We live by the border of Ohio and Pennsylvania. I gave him a call, asked him. I didn't know him. I found him online. I asked him if he was familiar with horseshoes. He said, yeah. I said, well, I mean, do you know how they were made, maybe in the 16, 17, 18, 1900s and stuff? Can you tell the difference? I said, and I told him, I've been doing metal detecting, and I told him about the stables and the horse track and everything. And I told him I'm looking for the stuff I'm looking for to match up to the track, because the track's gone, folks. It's been gone a long time ago. But I'm trying to find artifacts of the track being there. And actually, the cranking thing on a handle, if that turns out to be for a car, 1912s, there were probably half the people were still driving horse and buggy, but half the people were driving cars at that time. So there would have been a lot of cars parked in this area over there. So that hand crank could be for a car. It could be for a tractor too. They probably had tractors working that 9 acre farm, or however big it was when it was bought. So that actually could be either one of those. But I got a hold of that. See, pieces of it are still falling off of it. I got a hold of that blacksmith, and I was talking to him about it. And when I was telling him I had found a horseshoe, he goes, "Well, I'm sitting there." Or I asked him if he had any knowledge on horseshoes. And he said, "Well, I'm sitting there looking at a collection that I built." This was in his shop. He was sitting there. He goes, "I'm looking right at a collection that I've built of people bringing me horseshoes and shit, and some of them that I found myself." And so he's got a collection of them. And so I'm kind of trying to describe this horseshoe to him. And I'm telling him, man, it's been in the ground for a long time. And so I finally say, "Hey, let me just shoot you some pictures of it, and you take a look at it, see what you think." So I did. I took some good pictures of it, sent them to him, about four shots of it. First thing he texts me back to my phone is 2 words: extremely old. Extremely old. That's the 2 words he sends back to me after he sees the pictures. And so I'm still waiting to see if he's going to tell me anything else. And finally, I text him back and I say, "Is there any way you could give me a guesstimation of how old this thing could be?" I said, "Let's say, do you think it's old enough to be in the Civil War? Like a Civil War, or of that era, not actually a Civil War battle horse or nothing, folks. I'm just saying from that time frame, around the 1960s or 1860s, I mean." He said back a big yes, at least that old. Now, on most of these, and this is what he told me and what I have found online. Most of the Civil War horseshoes, that time frame, they had a piece that came over the toe that stuck up right here, stuck up this way, and the hoof would slide right up to it, and it would be like a metal plate over the tip of that hoof. Well, this don't have that. That's what threw off the blacksmith as well. Then there's the fact that this horseshoe, now they did still kind of make them just like this. See how, let me see. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. If you look at this, folks, see how this little hook comes off this side and there's not one on that side? Well, that is something they actually did. And they did this during the Civil War as well. But they always had that toe piece up on there. The guy's telling me that this horseshoe actually could go as far back. He said 16, could be 1600s to early 1800s. But he said he definitely knows it's older than the Civil War. Give you a look at this side too. It looks just about the same. And I'll tell you what, folks, this spot right here, I almost broke it when I was digging it out of the ground. I thought I had it hooked into a root. And I bent this actually, and it broke off all this deterioration here. It broke it off right in here. Damn near broke it in two places there with my shovel when I was digging it out. But this thing is, if you can see, it is super thin. Super, super thin. It's not, and the corrosion on it makes it look thicker than I think it ever was. As you can see at the tip there, where some of the corrosion that I almost broke it in two, it's pretty thin, man. It's like less than an 1/8 inch thick. So I'm over there looking for early 1900s stuff, 1912 to 1925 stuff. That's what I'm looking for. And it seems like I could possibly have found some or a piece or two. And I'm sure the tractor pin, I don't think it's from that early. It probably from the 60s or something. I don't know. Be honest with you. But this horseshoe, anywhere from 70, 80, 100 or more years older than, could be even 200 or more years older than what I was even looking for. No one, not even the people that allowed me to go over there and do this, expected this. No one. And I still get to take it to them and show it to them. But I'm trying to find somebody who can give me at least the century of when it, if they can tell me, okay, if it was in the 1600s, and that's 17th century. If it was in the 1700s, that'd be the 18th century. If it was in the 1800s, that'd be the 19th century. If I could just get it narrowed down to that, would be cool. The first person that's seen it thinks it's from the early 1800s or older. He don't even think he knows it's older than Civil War time, in the mid to 1960s, 1860s, 50s to 1860s. He knows it's older than that. But he don't know how much older, so. But who knows, folks? I hope it's like 1700s and something, man. Like colonial times. That'd be cool. That'd be cool as hell. Even Civil War, but I know it ain't Civil War. I mean, I've already been told it ain't Civil War, so it's older than that. Well, it could be the War of 1812, especially up here in northeastern Ohio. That's for sure. I didn't even think, I just now thought about that. It could be from that. That would be earlier than the Civil War. That's that could be it very well, because that whole War of 1812 it came down out of Canada into the 13 colonies. That's exactly what probably it could have came from, or just anybody else, riding through. But I mean, when you start thinking back, what happened before the Civil War, you know, got when people would have been in this area. I mean, a lot of these places, folks, people they're people nobody. You could go to some place and never see nobody for years because nobody come walking through there, nobody come riding through there. They followed the trails and shit. The woods was so thick you couldn't just ride a horse through the woods like they do in the movies, running from people and shit. Go to the woods and see how fast you can run through it. Like, especially the woods up this way. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but well, guys, that's what you know. Oh, I was talking about at a time that could have been dropped there. Uh, well, that's my treasure hunting. I did get to get out and do some today, and that's my story. You guys got more information than the people that saw the original video, so you know more about what's going on than they did. So, you guys, love you out there. Have a good one. Till the next one.